I'm not sure if it'll say on your screen, but there we go. It says that we are
Yeah, I
live
see
now.
it.
There you go. I didn't know if you could see that or not. So we do already have Monica. Monica was a little excited this morning. Good morning, Monica. She was here a couple minutes early.
That's fun.
So I know, right? Well, Monica's here a lot. She's awesome.
Good. Love people like that.
So we have a special guest today. Yeah, we do. Definitely. Guys, the weather all over, both where Akeen and I are living, both where Akeen and I live. Akeen's in Canada and I am in New Jersey. It is cold and it is gross and it is messing with Wi-Fi. So Akeen and I have a little bit of a lag, and so I'm going to try to make sure that I don't step on him thinking he didn't hear me or anything like that. And obviously you can tell this is not my normal background here. I am not in my studio because my studio is in the basement, and it is just, I couldn't feel my extremities down there. So you'll forgive me for being on my couch. So let's see. We've got Akeen setting up his headsets. You all good now? Okay, cool. Oh, now we can't hear you though.
It wasn't the headset. It was just I had to just press on mute, I guess. Okay, we're back.
Okay, well we can hear you now. Sarah says hello.
Hello.
All right, so y'all may remember Akeen from the interview we did in August, and he is the yarn art guy. And so Akeen was at Vogue Knitting Live in 2024, and he was there again this year, which was this past weekend, and told me some really exciting news. What's your really exciting news, Akeen?
All of that, I quit my job as an engineer to go full yarn art guy. So scary days, but exciting, really exciting.
Exactly. He told me that. I said that has to be like super exciting and super terrifying.
Yeah, it's a good mix. It's a good emotional motivation in that sense.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you need. You sometimes that like terror. Monique says congrats, and so does Sarah here. Everyone's excited for you. Sometimes that terror of, oh crap, now I have to succeed is exactly what you need.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
I mean, and it seems like you've been doing well. I noticed on your Instagram you have some commissions and stuff. So have you been doing a lot of those?
Yeah, so I've been getting commissions quite constantly last year. Now that I've opened up to be able to take more in, more have started to come, and I'm setting up situations where, like, if you sign up to my email list, I do discounts to really try to get a bunch of custom work planned out for the year to come.
Cool. And we were going to share that email list. So actually, do you have like the link that people can sign up for that?
A link set up. I don't know what the best way to go. Like, I don't know if maybe I should just give my email to say, you know, if you message me saying that you're here, you're included on that
your
list.
Site?
No, so it was an exclusive thing to people at Vogue, but I'd be happy to offer it to you guys as well. Maybe in the last 5 minutes, I could just set up something easier for people to send it if they're interested.
Okay. And is there like a sign up or something on your website or on your Instagram?
No, again, this was only something that I did specifically for Vogue. I wasn't even thinking of doing it until we brought it up at the beginning of this meeting, but I would be happy to, like, all I would need is their email. I don't know if it's something they want to put in the chat, or maybe you send me after of who was in the group, and I could send them that discount code for their first custom order.
Yeah, so we'll I'll put something in there. Let's see. You know what, guys? How about this? everybody who would like to get that information from Akeen, you can go ahead and Sarah is so on top of things. She's like, don't forget his website. You can go ahead and email me at support@Crochet Foundry and say that you would like to sign up on Akeen's email list, and you will get a discount code from him. And that will be like you were shopping at Vogue Knitting Live, okay? And so you'll give me that information. I'll put all those emails together and I'll email them over to Akeen tonight. So you have the rest of today to send me an email at support@crochetfoundry.com and just say, please give my email to Akeen for the discount code, and then just put your name and your email, and I will compile this all together and toss them over to him. All right, guys? So that'll be
Thank
cool.
you for setting that up. I should have got something ready for you, but look at you always having my back. Awesome. I appreciate it.
Well, we were like, literally, guys, I saw Akeen at Vogue Knitting Live this weekend, and I was like, and he told me that he had left his engineering job to be doing to do Yarn Art Guy full time, and I was so excited. I was like, you should be on one of our lives so that like everybody will know, and we just got so excited and set him up for the next live. And man, like those days between the end of Vogue and 2 days later, it kind of went fast, and I didn't even have to fly home.
Well, I had to drive back, right?
You
to
drove
bring all the art. A good 9-hour drive. It was fun.
Oh my goodness!
But I was just listening to Broadway musicals the whole time, so that was good. Never leave New York,
I saw your reel or something about traveling around New York yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's show you guys. Let's show everybody some of your stuff on your site. Or first, actually, do you have anything there? I see stuff behind you, but anything else there that you would like to show?
Yes. So this is actually new. I'm hoping to, as I'm growing my brand, start a YouTube channel, more discussions with my community and stuff. So I set up a little corner here with some of my prints and stuff that I can make my little, YouTube nook and really connect there. So that was a fun thing I did yesterday. These days, I'm actually, with Black History Month coming, I have a Maya Angelou piece that I sketched out, so that should come together pretty nicely. That's what I'm going to be working on soon. So I have nothing close to me because in the last 2 days, just getting back and trying to get reorganized. But I have things planned out that are going to be fun. So definitely on the Instagram, I'll take people through the process, and like I said, get on YouTube, post my vlog for VKL, and get started.
Awesome. Maya Angelou, one of my favorite people ever in the world. When I was in high school, I got a book of Maya Angelou poems. It was like this pink and purple color cover, and I have taken that with me everywhere I've ever lived. Like, it is literally in the little mini bookshelf that's only like this wide on my desk, so I only have a few books in there. It's one of the books in there. Everywhere I've ever gone, it's one of the first things I pack is that Maya Angelou book of poems.
Yeah, I think actually that exact book might be the one that I'm using to inspire the colors for this one, because there's definitely going to be a lot of purple and pinks. So funny, we might be talking about the same book.
I don't know. That book might be older than you are, Akeen.
I'm a collector. I'm an aficionado for old goodies.
Nice. All right, let's see. Pop over here. So here, let me scroll up to the top of his website before I do this. We're going to pop over to Akeen's site real quick and show you some things. All right, so Sarah is awesome. Oh, actually, here I have it actually on a banner too. This is Akeen's website, and I am pretty sure when I typed everything up yesterday, I included his site in the description of the post, so you should also see it in the description. And so here's Akeen's site, and then we have different sections. Anything you want to say about these here, Akeen?
Not more than, these are some of the works I've already done. I have a lot more that's going to be coming that's not on the website yet. So if you want to see it first things first is all on Instagram. I will shout out, my Black Icon series is my
Okay.
main touring series of work. I'm hoping to add to it with people like Maya Angelou and MLK. And then my animal section there is also a big part of what I do. I started with pet portraits, and it's one of my favorite things to work on. So is a big part of what I do. So you see some of my earlier works here. You can see like a Kobe Bryant, a Drake. If you're at Vogue, you saw my improvement on that. So these are some of my earlier works that I'm definitely going to update soon. I think, portraits is something as an artist, I was always scared of. I always hated doing.
It's been really fun to see as you evolve and see as your work evolves. It's been really fun to see that. Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
So I'm excited to, post more onto my website and just make more and show my vulnerability in my earlier pieces that I'm maybe not as proud of, but then showing the progress, which is always great for people to see and definitely motivating for people, because a lot of my work is going to schools and teaching about creativity and don't give up.
Yeah, I think as an artist, yeah. I think we have that delay again. Probably because I'm trying to open more things. Here, let's see if maybe I close a couple of them and we can see your Instagram. Well, guys, I will put the Instagram into on the screen here, and you can get here from Akeen's website as well. So here we go. Let's see. Yeah, I'm telling you, this weather is not playing with is messing with all the internet. I think I got it. Woohoo! I got it. All right, and so here we can see some of the more of your work, Akeen.
Yeah, and definitely more of my new work, custom work where people are okay with me posting it. I have, different things of progress videos. Yeah, just trying to express myself through, the online world.
And you said this was a custom piece, right?
Yeah, that was a custom one for someone
The piano?
Who played piano with their dad and wanted to give that as a piece, and was talking about how they wanted to blend how, piano helped them distract them from the chaotic nature of the world. So something I do for my custom work sometimes is I'll paint the backgrounds, because that'll save me time, which for custom work will save some money. And they're like, oh yeah, if you could do an abstract thing. So I was like, this is what I do anyway. So it was really a blending of what they wanted and what I like to do. So that's fun. Obviously I could do it in yarn, but yeah, doing my yarn painting takes a good amount of time. So it was a good blending of mediums there.
Yeah, I love it. I love the final look that it creates, and what you were explaining as to what she wanted it to do and how it distracts her from the chaos. And I totally get that. I played piano as a child, and I still have my piano, but I don't unfortunately play it very much anymore. If you find me playing the piano, it's because I'm super, super, super stressed out. So I can understand, I can relate to this. And I love how you mix those. And then the fact that you're keeping in mind that not everybody who does a commission piece is going to be able to afford to pay what a commission piece fully covered in yarn is truly worth. And so you found a way where you're still getting paid for your work, but it doesn't have to take quite as long. So I love that. That's very smart.
And when I do custom work, I really like to have a call or a good communication with the person to really gauge where they're at, because I want to make the piece for you if you're gonna love it, if it's something that inspires you. Like, I like connecting with people, so I want to find a way to make it work for both of us. Me as now a full-time artist, you know, my time is valuable, but also like your thoughts and what you're trying to express is also valuable. So I like working with people to make their dreams come true with yarn, you know.
I love that. And you said you like doing, oh, sorry, you said you like doing pet portraits. So is that something that you will take a picture of somebody's pet and do as a commission?
Yeah, it depends on how they want it done. I love having a picture to just base off of and go, because it makes it a lot simpler. Or you could just send me a bunch of pictures of your pet, and I could either choose the best one or kind of merge them together. So I like doing that, especially when I have a little bit of liberty to have fun with it, you know. Like, if you want the cat, dog, whatever in its exact color, great, I'll do it. It'll be nice. But when I'm able to, you know, put splashes of color in it and see what really works, that's definitely fun. So that's something I'm hoping to build up on my website too, a dedicated spot for, you know, pet portraits, because I don't think I have a lot of my examples on my website right now.
Looks like I might be. Yeah, we saw a couple animals here. But it's what I love, that you are very much an artist. You're not just, you know, sometimes people will take an pre-existing image and just kind of blow it up and trace the outlines and then fill in the spots. You know, that's what some people might think, you know, amazing drawing skills or whatever to just do that kind of thing or whatever. But you very much turned this into art in that you have your own artistic skills. You're changing around colors. You're how you're putting the directions of the lines and everything, and you also have the ability to draw something brand new yourself, because you have that art ability, which is awesome. And, you know, and also I was actually pointing out to my daughter yesterday how a lot of artists who came before, and I love that, because it kind of teaches you what it means to have your own style and everything, right? How do you view the fact that you have that art history background? Like, how do you think that aids you in your art?
Yeah, well, talking a little bit about the animal portraits, I like to, I think you had a good point about the direction of the yarn, because I think people might even underestimate how it's so intentional how I put each piece. But I like to talk with the person who's commissioning a portrait and really get a feel of what their pet is like, because I could add kind of certain flares to it that really capture, you know, who their little personality too. So that's always fun. And going into my you know, art history background and inspiration of other artists, I think it's so important to, you know, understand that a lot of things have been done before, and it's not really about reinventing the wheel. It's really just about taking things you like and just slightly changing them until you find yourself. So it's definitely important to look at what has come. I always look at people like a Picasso, or even like a Jackson Pollock, where it's like his paintings are literally just splashes, and you're like, I could do that. But then you realize that he could draw like fine art like super well. So he chose to do that. It's not because he just like was like, oh, I can't do anything else. Well, no, he started a certain way.
He didn't know what side of the face the eyes were on.
Yeah, exactly. It's like yeah, exactly. He's not just drugged out. Is intentional, you know. So these things that seem simple to us maybe are actually like only done through a long process of, you know, finding yourself through inspiration of other people too, you know. And whether you want to admit it or not, like you're getting affected by everything you see in the world. So like being conscious of that helps your progress a little bit faster.
Nice. We have several comments here that we just want to go through. Let's see. Monica, subscribe to your YouTube channel. Yay!
Yeah, more to come in February for sure.
Sarah said something sounds great, but I'm not sure what. Driving in the winter is always an adventure. Yeah, probably about going home and just liking your work. Let's see. Sarah also put up your YouTube link. Thank you, Sarah. Monique loves how you create, and Fire Lake Creations, which is also Sarah again, agrees. Monica, not to be confused with Monique, what does a commission project cost typically?
Yeah, so it really, typical, yeah, no, it's hard to say typically because it all depends on, you know, what size, what detail level, you know, do you want me to paint the background? Do you not want me to paint the background? You want, you know, something like this background here is just blue. It's yarn, but it's just blue. Whereas this one is a bunch of strands. Whereas this one is twisted strands. All of these things take different times. So that's why I like to talk to people about, you know, what really they're wanting. But if I were to say, you know, a typical maybe 12 by 12 pet portrait would be something in the range of 200 to 300, maybe 350 because of shipping. But I would really need to see, you know, okay, you want a detailed one or a one that could look more cartoonish, abstract. Mm-hmm. There's ways to fit a budget, you know. I would usually say if you're looking to get something commissioned, start with a baseline of is going to be at least $200, and then like that's really a baseline. And then nowadays, yeah, anything is possible on the top, but yeah, it's just to think like an average pet portrait will take me, you know, 6 to 8 hours. So when you look through my stuff, think to yourself, you know, is this $20 an hour worth, $30 an hour worth? Like what how do you see it? And then we discuss and I try to make it work in your budget, and then I'll tell you if it's not realistic for me to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's important to keep in mind, guys, is, you know, if Akeen is spending, you know, at least 6 hours on something small, you know, a few $100s is still an unbelievably inexpensive price, an unbelievably low price. I am sure as time goes on, Akeen's rate per hour will probably go up, and rightfully so. So, you know, keep that in mind and get those orders in now, because you get so many benefits if you were to talk to Akeen, you know, when you get your tax return or whatever. I mean, that's a fun thing. If you get a nice tax return, dude, talk to Akeen, because what you're going to get is you're going to get this amazing art. And it is, guys, it is amazing. And he's traveled with a lot of these pieces many times. And I was just looking at them a couple days ago. They are not showing any wear and tear, which means if you're just displaying them wherever you live, they last. These are not, these are very, very, they're well made. You don't see little like spaces. They're beautiful, guys. They're absolutely beautiful pieces of art. They're unique, and you're going to get them at a price that I'm sure is not going to hold, because people are going to be discovering Akeen and being like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. Akeen's going to be like $20 an hour. Forget that. We're like $200 an hour. And I'm going to be over here going, no.
Yeah, it's already started, you know, like if I look at what I was doing a pet portrait for, you know, 5 years ago versus now, I think it's fair, but it's definitely been different. And like, even something like like the original of my Bob Marley piece, like there was a time where I had it for sale for like 300-400. I ended up selling it for a couple thousand at the end, you know, because of just like growing and exposure and kind of notoriety. And to your point of like, yeah, they last. I think I tell people that I use a hot glue gun because I really do find it like, you know, holds it well. And, you know, I have people displaying like a water scene in their bathroom. The steam has never affected it. You know, you could always put it behind glass if you want, you know, but when I display it, I usually don't do that because people want to touch it. And even at that, like, as long as you're not scratching at it there, you know, like it could survive a little bit of, you know, rubbing. You know, you still want to pet your pet portrait, feel free, you know. So
yeah, you had some at VKL that were with the like the chenille kind of yarn. You did the basketball backboard, and you had the little this little guy screwed on for the.
Nice. Yeah,
You had a bigger one than this. This
yeah.
is the one I
I
told
want
you
people to get it in, you know.
Yeah, this is the one I told you that one morning when I wasn't quite awake yet and I was pouring my coffee. I had just this is my little trash can for my yarn ends. And so I had emptied my little trash can and I was making my morning coffee. And as I told Akeen, I really am not capable of making my coffee until I've had my coffee. So I had my coffee mug and I had my little empty trash can and I went to pour my coffee and I poured it in here and you can guess what happened.
Yeah,
I was
that's one way
sad.
to wake you up, you know, wake up in panic.
And no one else in my house drinks coffee, so they can't like just fix it and make me coffee because they don't even know how. It's so sad. So we have a few more comments here. Sarah is loving your art, and so Susan, sorry. So many S's and M's here. Susan is loving your art. She's one of our designers, one of our awesome designers here. Sarah shared your Instagram. All the Instagram and the YouTube are both easy to get to from his website. What materials do you like to use? Like, is there a specific fiber content or anything that you prefer to use, Akeen?
So not really. So canvas wise, I would do it on anything that's not paper, anything sturdy enough to handle hot glue. Like I said, I use a hot glue gun, so that's for the adhesive and canvas wise. But yarn wise, I like to use like acrylic yarns just because hot glue, you know, you don't want it to melt. It's quite tight and flexible. But more and more, I'm getting people who, you know, who knit or crochet that have ends of pieces of all different types of yarn. So now I'm learning to like mix them together and use them for different things. So like if I have maybe if I were to do my hair, you know, I would do more of a wool black, you know. If I were to do something that's maybe, you know, sleeker, I could use a tighter kind of yarn. It really depends on what I have accessible because I try to be sustainable at this point and not really buy more art because as I'm sure you all have your own stashes, it gets a little bit crazy. And I want to just kind of mix it up and try different things.
Cool. Awesome. So Susan would like to know, what are your go-to fibers? I think we basically got that down in that last question, though. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, okay. And Susan also says there's a local artist in Detroit, Detroit Tuft.
Noting it down. I got to note it down. Like, yeah. I love doing these kind of things because, like, yes, I make yarn art, but like, it's only when I speak with people in the fiber community do I learn, like, okay, why do you use this? Okay, this would be better for this. Try this stuff, you know? So noting it down right away, and I will definitely reach out.
Awesome. There are some incredible artists in the Detroit area, not just musicians. Obviously, we know there's awesome music in Detroit, but incredible other kinds of artists as well. And I need to go visit my brother more often who lives over there because so much incredible art. Let's see. Monique, I think, liked the question about the art history and says that Pollock is amazing. Let's see. And then Monica says, amazing work. my godmother worked with these materials and always loved this kind of art. Aw, awesome. Susan wants to know if you have any abstract pieces.
I do have a couple. I had them on display at Vogue. They're not on my website yet, but now that you bring that up, I definitely need to post them. You can see similar, like one of my most recent posts on Instagram. You'll see kind of a mini abstract pieces. I made a couple like that. Personally, like I think it might come from my like engineering background that I like the structure of things, you know? So I'm trying to practice my abstract work because I know that people appreciate it, but I don't know if my mind is there just yet. So
those are the ones with the chenille yarn, right? That was very pinnable.
Exactly. So I thought that'd be a fun way to, you know, practice my abstract because they're thicker, you know, like it's kind of quicker to make pieces. So I could try different things and see what works, see what doesn't work for me. So yeah.
So Monique says that she always wants to touch the art. Poor parents. And it's art you have to feel, which is so cool. You know, I have a story I think both Monique and Akeen will be amused by. My mother has set off the proximity alarms at museums all over the world. She doesn't necessarily touch things, but she's like, ooh, look at that. And she like points at it, or she just leans in and it's her nose that sets off that alarm because she's leaning in really close. So I got my master's degree in painting and sculpture, and I took a class on bronze casting where you create a piece out of wax and then you put a like you fill cement or whatever around it, and then you melt out the wax and you fill it in with bronze, right? So I made this little tiny, is probably about 1 inch by 1 inch. The model was this guy who was sitting holding his knees up and putting his head down. So he's just like this little ball. So I made a little tiny one and I gave it to my mom, and I told her every time she goes to the museum, she has to put it in her pocket and she can touch that instead of the art at the museum.
Yeah, but for me, I don't think, you know, avoiding people touching it is a thing, you know? So sometimes.
No, or you can go see, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I have either a specific piece where I go like, touch this, you know, like it's fine. Or I'll have like a Pokemon piece that I display fairly low, and I just know the kids are gonna go touch it, and like I'm living with that. Like especially when it is kids, they like what I do. Like at Vogue, there's this one little girl that just kept coming back to my booth just to watch me work or something like that. And I'm like, I love that because it'll get them interested in exploring their creativity. So go ahead, touch the Pokemon piece. The other pieces, not so much. You'll know which pieces I don't want you to touch by how high they are.
Nice. Well, yeah, I know you actually inspired my daughter because she's been working on some like multimedia pieces, and I think she maybe showed you the picture of the fear. She was doing a study of fears. The fear of
she was telling me about it. I didn't see it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she showed it to somebody, but so she's been working with different multimedia, and had been thinking about doing something with yarn. And I was like, oh, you're going to love Akeen. And then she saw your stuff and she was like, and she'd already seen it in the magazine and everything. But then when she saw it in person, it was even more impressive. And she's like, ooh, yeah, now I have some ideas.
Yeah, that's why I love going to live events, because I could try my best to, you know, showcase it well online and, you know, high quality video, close-ups and stuff. But until you see it in real life, there's a little bit of a disconnect there, you know, like even that's why I love custom work, you know. It's like you have an idea of what I do, but when you get your own, it's different. It's special.
Yeah. I'm thinking, you know, maybe I need some logos, some yarn art, crochet, Foundry, and Jessie at Home logos.
You know,
I should be getting a tax return soon.
Yeah.
I need to keep track of the time. We have most Wednesdays we have a live sit and stitch, and we like the first Wednesday it's this time, and the second Wednesday of the month it's that time, and so on and so forth. And this Wednesday are sit and stitches from 1 to 3. So I have to actually pay attention to the time today.
Okay.
But we're good. It's only 12:35. We're
Awesome,
totally good.
Awesome.
Oh, I had something. My brain's gone mushy. All right. Well, why don't you tell us? I know that we kind of went over a lot of this in the interview that is now also on the blog as well. Sarah, Monique, you want to have a contest to see who can get the link to the blog post up quicker? But still, can you tell us a little bit about like how you got to this point of creating this art?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I was always creative. I know I went into engineering, but that's because I wanted to get a job, not because that's where my heart was. But I've always, like, since I was a kid, been a painter. I really got into sculpting. Ironic for me is that I can't actually draw. Like, I'm not the best drawer, but I'm pretty good at painting and stuff like that. I just like creating, you know, like using my imagination. So I've always, regardless of school or work, done something on the side. And then as in 2017, I really wanted to find something that was different, you know, that would stand out and I could kind of be known for in a way. Because my whole thing was really to inspire others to create as well. So I wanted to find something that you look at and you think to yourself, okay, why did you even start that? And my response is always like, if you say you can't paint, you can't draw, you can't do this and this, there's something you could do. And it's through trying random things, different things, that you're going to find it. I never thought it'd be yarn. So, but look what came of it. So more specifically in 2017, when I was looking at the Starry Night, which was my first piece, I thought to myself, you know, the brush strokes look like strands of yarn. So I recreated it. And as you saw at Vogue, you know, that versus what I was working on at Vogue was a new Starry Night. You could already see, to your point, you know, tighter pieces of yarn, that whole thing of gaps and stuff. In my first piece, you saw that a little bit more than what you'll see in my newer pieces. So that started, and then, you know, I just created with that, and friends of mine would reach out, you know, can you do my cat? Sure, I'll do your cat. Sure, I'll do this. Oh, that cat was so good, you should post online about it. Wasn't really my style, but at a certain point, I had a friend who does music, and I was telling him, I'm like, you should post online. And he's like, no. I'm like, if I post online, will you post online? And then he was like, sure, you know. So I started doing it. He didn't follow along, but, you know, it took me, yeah, exactly. It gave me opportunities that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten, you know, more people ordering work, more of a community that supports what I'm doing. And then when COVID hit, I started doing my portrait series. That kind of became a big thing. That started actually with my Biggie piece. It's probably one of my favorite pieces that I was initially going to make as a gift for my younger sister. She loves Biggie, and I was like, if I mess it up, she has to love me anyways. Like, so it's fine, you know. But when I started with the eyes, you know, because eyes capture the soul. Step back, and I was like, okay, this is Biggie, you know. So then I called up my sister, said, you're not getting a gift from me this year. And just kind of one thing led to another in the sense of, you know, Biggie, you make Tupac, and then I made Fresh Prince, and then I kind of thought to myself, let me make this a series of people who inspire me artistically, from, you know, the rappers who have a unique style to, you know, Bob Marley because I'm Jamaican, to, you know, the Fresh Prince because I like to, you know, make fun videos. I like to do art. I do a little bit of everything. You know, I like to rap a little bit too, you know. So that's kind of how it became a thing. And then in posting it online and then coming out of COVID, I was getting a lot of opportunities to showcase, and, you know, people at Vogue reached out to me. I was able to go to Toronto, Montreal, Ottawa, you know, Chicago, different places. And just as more and more opportunities came to me and I saw that this was becoming something, I always think is important to keep practicing your craft. So I would do different pieces that are very challenging or unique. That's why a lot of my pieces you'll see are actually smaller, because it's actually harder to do it when it's smaller. If it's big, I could just like, if I have only one line to make your eye versus I have a whole space, the challenge is different. But the more I showcased, the more I went out, I realized people love bigger pieces, especially like if they're going to keep them in their house. So now I want to explore that and see how I could, keep challenging myself, keep learning, but also make something that's maybe more accessible for everyone. So as the opportunities came and I started to grow, I learned, maybe if I give the effort I'm giving to, my work, or the effort that I gave all throughout university, the same success could come from it, So that's where I actually really wanted to take the leap. And I'm at an age where I feel like, I don't have kids yet. I don't have these crazy responsibilities. I think it's important to take a chance now. And, I think I'm going to succeed, but succeed or not, at least I could say I did it, So I'm happy to start that. And it's been busier than I thought, just in organizing everything and making sure you get everything, scheduled out and planned out, and, your website's properly set up and different things like that. So give me 2 weeks and we're going to get right on track and be pumping out content, working on new pieces, and yeah, you're going to see the yarn art guy everywhere,
Awesome. Yeah, it's a lot more work than you like. You think you know how much work it is, and then reality, it's even more. But now, did you manage to make it to MoMA to actually see Starry Night?
No, everyone was saying that, and no, I wasn't able to get there, but I will.
I
We'll
have
be
not
back.
yet either. Are you going to
I
come to
know
Web Knitting
everyone's
Live
telling me.
next year?
So no, I don't think so. I think for the next few years, I'm going to be living overseas actually, for a bit. So that's going to be a cool opportunity to create and get inspiration. But I won't be here for those events next year. Yeah, that's really why I wanted to do something special with like the discount codes.
You cut out a little. Yeah. Well, you cut out a little bit when you were saying what are you doing with the overseas thing?
So that's actually with the nature of my fiance's job. Where we're traveling. She works for like the Canadian government, so we're gonna have a mission abroad. So she's giving me the opportunity to chase the dream while we're doing that. So it's gonna be fun.
That's awesome. You'll be able to like get some influences from other cultures and maybe go to a bunch of really cool museums. But next time you're in New York City, you should like because I haven't seen it. I adore you, but if I have the chance to see it before you're in New York City next, I might, I'm not going to wait, but I'll still go again.
Okay. I'll try to get back and I'll let you know. I definitely got to see it.
So Sarah said she saw on your website that you have a dad joke book. Guys, when I saw Akeen, now, okay, Akeen's actual given name is Akeen Kidder, which is just perfect for a joke book author. But when I first saw him at the 2024 Vogue Knitting Live, I did buy his dad joke book to give to my husband. I was like, oh, I'll just keep this for like his birthday or Father's Day or whatever. No, as soon as I got home, I had to give it to him. I just couldn't resist. And yeah, he has it. It's in his office, and every once in a while he'll like come out and tell us a dad joke from the book, and we'll all groan at him, and it's great.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's just because I like to have fun with what I do online, like on Instagram. Yes, I'll showcase my art, but I also like to make puns and silly videos. So I think that was a good way to have people who want to support me, but maybe it's not through art, it's through smaller things. At least they, can shout me out whenever they need to make somebody cringe, you know?
That's awesome. And Sarah says, I totally agree with this. It's great to have a partner that supports your dreams.
Yeah,
so
especially because
shout
it's
out
already
to
so
Beyonce.
scary, you know? It's like you're already worried. You don't want other people in your life to be worried too, and I'm sure they are, but at least they keep up a strong front, and that helps you push forward, you know? So it's great.
Yeah, it's a huge, definitely. It makes a huge impact to have that supportive partner. It really does. Now, as far as, you were saying about people who want to support you, but maybe can't afford a big painting. Have you thought about doing, I don't know if you saw Carol McDonald, who was also there, one of the artists, and she does like, you can buy like a little notebook and it has a piece of her art is on the cover of it, or like she'll have cards and stuff. Have you thought about doing some of that with the work where it would be licensing wise legal for you to do those things?
Yeah, definitely is definitely part of my plan. So I'm taking it a little slow in the sense of I want to prioritize as many live events as I can while I'm still on this side of the water, you know? So it's definitely
Smart.
in the book. Like I've started working with different companies that like in Montreal that have like postcards and stuff. So I've done some work like that, but it's definitely something I want to work on a lot more, because I think it's a good way to have, you know, something easy and reproducible and, you know, cost effective too for people. So definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of like designers, they have their patterns that you can just, it's kind of, it's done, and now people can just keep buying it, keep buying it, keep buying it. Depending on your relationship with your manufacturers actually making those things, it becomes a little bit of a steady income, where even if you're sick, you're getting married, you're having kids, whatever you're doing, that doesn't pause when you pause. So
Exactly. I'm definitely like I'm trying to prioritize things properly. You know, I'm doing a lot of events, a lot of custom work as I'm here ready to go. But then I want to do a lot more, you know, reproducible things like journals and things like that. I want to build up my community so that I could, you know, have my Patreon and things like that, where I'm showcasing a lot more behind the scenes, and it's something more consistent for sure.
Yeah. Monique says she has a friend who creates note cards displaying her art, which is a good thing. I've been thinking about taking a look at Patreon and stuff, you know, with the way that social media is always moving, and, you know, not to get in any sort of a political debate, but there are more people exiting Meta and everything. I've been thinking about trying to get, I would already had a couple people in my ear about, you should do this on Patreon and have your community over there and everything. So
Exactly.
I've been hearing some really good things about Patreon.
Yeah, and just building a community in general, like whether that's, you know, having a home base on like a Discord where you guys could all just talk to a Patreon where they could support, and it's like it's not dependent on, you know, what's the platform up to these days. And you like it's a home base for all these other platforms. So definitely things I'm looking into, and you know, hoping to build from there, you know.
Oh, Susan has another Susan has an IG one here for you. I would pull it up, guys, but every time I open up one more tab, we nearly lose a key. So I'm not, look at that. I just said that and it tried to get rid of me. But you guys can see it's Expressions by Munaron. I don't know exactly how to say it, but you can see it and write it down. On IG, creates artwork with fiber and driftwood out in California. Cool beans. And Akeen, I did recently find out with Patreon now, you can have a free community as well. Apparently it didn't used to be that way. So because I was talking with somebody who works with them, and she said, yeah, you can have the free community. So you can have things where it's like, here are the people who aren't paying. here's all the access they have, and then here's the additional access at this level or that level or whatever. So I guess they've
just a
been doing
point
a lot of
about
updates
the
on that.
IG that they put. They didn't space out on Instagram, so it's Expressions by Munir on Instagram. So it's not Muniron.
Oh, okay.
Munir.
So there should not be a space between the N and the I. That's actually part of it. Okay, so it's Expressions by Munir on IG. So just take the space out between the N and the I.
Yeah, I just checked that out.
Cool.
That's cool.
Oh, like and yeah.
Fun.
Cool. Nice. Awesome. And Monica, Monique said that Monica's friend with the cards is so smart. Nice. Sometimes I have to figure out where they're all talking to each other and us and everything. Awesome. I love this.
That's definitely
and, and that's
people want to support,
awesome. Yes. I was saying guys, you're so awesome for like sharing these fun other artists and everything, because one, it brings, the rest of the community now has somebody else fun to see. And two, Akeen is my kind of artist in that, it's fun to look at the other artists in similar fields, see what they're doing. And, sometimes you can end up working together, or you just kind of inspire each other. And I love that. There's a big difference between, like, you can look at other artists and be inspired and work together. It doesn't have to be, oh, I don't look at other artists because I don't want to accidentally copy them, which I hear people say sometimes too. You're not going to accidentally copy them if you're, actually thinking about it. So.
Yeah, and I mean, and copying them is not the worst, as long as like you're not then going, oh, look at me, like this is my thing, because you copy them and then it kind of transitions into what you do more and more, So it's like if copying it is how you start, then okay, but as long as you don't take that and be like, this is me, I created this by myself without any other people, like that's not the way. Like, yeah, Sarah's saying art is collaborative, like it really is.
Yes, art is collaborative, sharing and collaborating. And let's see, love to see this art. It's amazing and creative. It is. It really is. Like, I was so excited that Akeen came back this year to Vogue Knitting Live. And then when he told me that this is his full-time gig now, I was doing a little happy dance. Like seriously, Akeen, when I came home, I was like, guys, guess what? And they're like, you're such a dork. I'm like, I know.
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
I get so excited when other people in the industry are growing and succeeding. And whenever I see somebody doing something that makes them happy, that's just like my happiness. Over here on Instagram, I can't pull up the Instagram comments on the screen, but we have Naughty Baubles says it's as far as the art and collaboration, it's all about your intentions. So yes, I would agree with that. So, let's see. Anything else? We're at 11:54, and I do have my sit and stitch that we do on Wednesdays in a few minutes. But what else would we like to say, everybody? I'll give you all a quick reminder and then hand it over to Akeen. If you would like to get a discount code from Akeen, then send me an email before the end of today at support@crochetfoundry.com and just put, I would like the discount code from Akeen, put your name and your email. I'll compile those all together and send them over to Akeen, because was the special for Vogue Knitting Live. And so he is going to extend that to you guys, but please get all of that out to me by the end of today. Just because I got a lot of other stuff to do too. All right.
Busy.
So anything else you want to finish up here with, Akeen?
No, just to say thank you, obviously, for featuring me in the magazine for this. Hopefully, we could talk in a couple weeks too, so I could show you where the Maya Angelou got to. Maybe other things that I'm working on. I have a lot coming in the next month or so, so I'll definitely be keeping people up to date on YouTube through vlogs and behind the scenes, and then Instagram, trying to keep the levity and the jokes going and showcasing some of the new art. So just follow along and let's see where we go.
You want to tell Susan where you're from?
Yeah, so I'm Canadian. I'm from Montreal, born and raised. I moved to Ottawa in the last year. But yeah, Canadian boy, Montreal, Ottawa is where I was at.
Awesome. And Akeen, I already told you, anytime when you're ready to come back and share with us again, we all adore you, and we're having so much fun following along on your journey. So you just let me know. You are always welcome. And that's the great thing about the streaming is that when you're abroad, we can do it too. So, that's also an option. And
exactly.
Apparently Monique is a
yeah,
neighbor.
Monique. Yeah, going to Ottawa in March. Going to Toronto in March, my bad. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I think, guys, that is going to be it for us. So thank you so much, Akeen.
Yeah,
we love having you here. You're always very, I don't know. There's something about you, Akeen. You're my kind of people. So
I appreciate it.
Exactly.
Thank you. All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you so much.
Guys.
Everybody have
everybody.
a wonderful day.
Yeah. Take care, everybody.